Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Getting Dev Working by Decadoes Rust. In this episode we're going to download and install Vagrant, which is kind of a thing to help us create development environments in virtualized settings. So it's available for Mac OS X, Windows, Debian Linux and CentOS, all flavors of both. We're going to take the Windows version. I have actually already clicked the download before and it's downloaded, but it basically just click this download. We'll have a link to this page at the bottom of the video so you can actually download it yourself for whichever operating system. I'm going to show through the Windows installation. So since I've downloaded it, I'm going to click on it and let's get started on installation. It's fairly standardized installation, so if you've installed anything pretty much on Windows before, it should be fairly familiar with you. You will agree to this license agreement and click next. Choose where to put it, and we'll click next and then click install. If you've got UAC switched on, it may or may not ask you whether you want to continue with this, and just say yes if it does. Taken a little while, and let's close off. It's taken a little while, so I'll probably actually pause this and wait for it to continue to the next stage, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, it's finished installing now, and basically it did ask for UAC control, and I just said yes to it, and it continued through. So now we click finish. It's saying must restart to do the configuration. I'm going to say no for the moment. It may or may not work, and it may need the restart to make sure that the paths are all working and so on and so forth. I've been through that before, where you have to sometimes edit your paths manually and so on and so forth because of the restart requirements. But I'm going to leave it for the moment for that and deal with any problems that it comes up with that anyway. If I look, it's just added VMware Workstation, so I'm presuming that that's what it uses now instead of VirtualBox. Let's have a look. It's rather annoying because I'm used to using VirtualBox with it, so that's a whole different thing. Let's look for Oracle. So I've got VirtualBox installed anyway. I'll have to find out whether I can change provider to VirtualBox via Vagrant file or something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and have a little look up and see whether that's possible for now, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've just double checked the Vagrant works. So it's not an issue with needing restarting to make Vagrant work because it seems to be fine. Let's go to the actual documentation and see what getting started has in order. Blah blah. Vagrant with VirtualBox, since it's free, available on major platforms. It says it's working with Vagrant. So hash code precise 64 and Vagrant up. After running above 2 commands, you'll have a fully running virtual machine, VirtualBox running Ubuntu, blah blah. You can SH into this machine. Plain range to terminate virtual machine, Vagrant destroy. So let's give that a go. See whether that actually works. Just to test it. Vagrant init HashiCorp precise 64 and see whether that works. Depends on how new the thing is. Vagrant files have been placed in its directory. Oh, actually I've just realised where I've placed that. I didn't necessarily want to do that. Let's clear that. CD documents. CD side projects. Make the VF. CD into VF. Now do that. Initializer precise. First, read the comments in the Vagrant file as well as documentation of Vagrant up for more information on using Vagrant. That's fine, but I'm just going to follow this thing now and just put Vagrant up and see what it does. There we go, it's doing it with VirtualBox provider. Default box, VirtualBox, blah blah blah, loading it up. Hopefully downloading the box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and let it download what it needs to download and see whether we get to a prompt again, so I'll see in a second. Okay, I let it go through and then it had a bit of a problem while booting the VM. So there's some sort of problem somewhere. I just tried running VirtualBox itself and it didn't run. So I am going to presume that it's a problem with the installation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install VirtualBox fresh and try again. I'm just downloading VirtualBox at the moment, so 117 meg, there's a couple of minutes left, so what I'm going to pause this video and continue the download stuff of VirtualBox. I'll see in a second. Okay, VirtualBox has downloaded. So I'm just going to literally try and install it and see what it says. It might say that it needs it uninstalling the previous one or something, but I don't know, so we'll find out now. Blah blah blah, that's fine, next. Gonna set up everything, next. Create all the associations, and yes, proceed with the install and install. It may or may not ask to, oh it has, it's just asked me to do the UAC control acceptance, so that's done. Right, that's going through. It's not really minding about uninstalling the previous, therefore I've got a feeling there was a corruption or something with my installation of the previous one. Don't know, but we'll see what it does anyway. I'm going to pause now and it can kind of update and do its thing, so I'll see in a second. Okay, it's telling me the installation is complete, so I'll tell it to start Oracle VirtualBox after installation and see if it actually starts up. Let's have a look at what it's actually got on this thing now. Got an old version of the extensions pack, download the new version, yes, yes. So it's kept my virtual machines, it's actually got the virtual machine that it was having trouble starting up, so I'm hoping that this will make it so it can actually start up. If it can, then I'll just close this lot and give it a go and see what I can do. Let's install the extensions pack, upgrade, agree to the terms. UAC was just asking me whether that was okay to continue, so I've told it yes. So it's installing the extension pack. I'll pause and wait for that to happen. I'll see in a second. Okay, as that for time, just as I paused it, finished. So we can delete the downloaded file, that's it. Okay, so we've got our virtual machine there. So if I now go and do Vagrant up, hopefully it will just do it. We'll see in a second, hopefully. Machine defaults, blah blah, up to date, doing the previous set forwards, and it's doing the interface stuff, setting everything up, hopefully booting the virtual machine this time around. So if it works now, then that's all the problem there was, and it will mean that obviously you install your Vagrant box or whatever your Vagrant, and you install VirtualBox as well. I'll leave links to both at the bottom of the video. It looks like it's booting, which is nice. Yeah, definitely looks like it's got a lot further than it was before anyway. Connection disconnect, blah blah, retry. I think that's just the normal lag of it booting. I'm sure I've had this before on it. just let it do its thing. Insecure, will automatically replace this with a newly generated one, inserting new generator, removing insecure. What happened then? Something else happened. What's he moaning about? Lots and lots of random stuff happening. Yeah. Here we go. What's it moaning about? Mounting shared folders, project. Blocking enable undefined messages for a nil class. I don't know what that actually is exactly. Shall we just have a look and see? So I'll try, as the thing says, I'm going to actually just try, and I've done the Vagrant up. Any project next steps, project setup, I don't know. In it, that's fine. Vagrant boxes, not what I particularly want. Using box, blah blah blah, finding more boxes, next steps. Via SSH, Vagrant SSH. Let's just try that. Let's see what happens here. Welcome to a Vagrant built virtual machine. Vagrant, it looks like it's all in. What's present working directory? Okay, so if I do touch test file, got a test file in there. Now if I exit, I'll not do that. Okay, now let's have a look. We've got our Vagrant file, but we don't have our test file. Why do we not have our test file? So the mounting thing didn't work, did it? I'm guessing. Although, no, it wasn't. I know what I'm doing. Sorry. Vagrant SSH. Make sure it still SSHs into it. Because obviously that wasn't that place. So now if I cd slash Vagrant. Don't know that it's a small. Let's just cd into / and see whether it's around. No. No. So I'm guessing it didn't do the share then. That's okay. Oops. So to actually make this really useful to cross-platform stuff and to edit from outside of the Vagrant box, I do need to share folders. So what's this synced folders? Is that to do with it? Where are we? See, there's that Vagrant. Let's try that. Can't access it. There's no such thing. Okay. That's fine. So how do we sync the folders? Avoid fault in the project directory. Remember that they want a Vagrant file and Vagrant directory guest on machine. Steps. You have to successfully initialize machine via sync folders. More with provisioning. What we got here? That's not a lot of use. No, not what I want. Networking. Port forwarding. Setting up shares with Vagrant. There we go. Vagrant login, share, your Vagrant share is running, default Must do these all over. Oh, hang on, no, that's something to do with something else. Okay, well, we've got it up and running to an extent. I may actually redo this now. Let's do this and exit for a minute. Okay, cd dot dot. Make directory called Vagrant test. cd Vagrant test. Test.c, for instance. Now I've got to get back to the getting started thing. Project setup. Blah blah blah. Getting started. Vagrant init. Okay, so I'm going to do a cd. I'm already in that folder. I'm just going to do a Vagrant init. That should now create a Vagrant file. So now if I edit the Vagrant file, just want to actually have a look at what's entailed inside it. Have a little play with it. Come on. It's a bit of a longer video than I was actually expecting for this, but theoretically we've got this part of it running. I'd just like to be able to do a few more things with it. Right, let's take a look at the start. Vagrant Federation is done, blah 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 blah. Let's do that later. Let's ask him what I want to update. Requires a box, blah blah blah. VM box equals base. What's this? Doesn't require a box. You can search for boxes. I think it's HashiCorp. Check for updates. False. IP network. Public network. Vagrant data. Village box. So this doesn't really have much in it as such, so I'm going to close this off. I may do it a little bit differently. I'm just going to check a few things. Read more about Vagrant boxes. Installing a box. HashiCorp Precise 64, copy that. There we go, that's the bit what I wanted. So I do need to redo that opening of the Vagrant file and just paste that into it, I think. There's VM box. I'll just paste that. Come on. And then where are we? VM box into the base. I'm going to actually do this one. Okay. So I shall now save that, and then I'm going to do a Vagrant up. Hang on a minute, before I do that I want to find out about sharing folders. It does say that it automatically does it, but last time we let it automatically do it, it kind of had a bit of a funny and we ended up with scrap, so let's take a look. Synced folder data to Vagrant data. Share additional folders to guest VM. The first argument is path to the host in the actual folder. The second argument is the path to the guest managed folder. Optional third argument, set non-required options. Okay, so if we do a config of synced folder, we're syncing / with Vagrant data, why not? Example VirtualBox, that's fine. I'm just going to save that. Now let's just give it a go and see what it does. I don't know what that, by the way, I don't know whether it allows for like / and stuff, but we'll find out in a minute. So Vagrant up. It should basic provision of a virtual machine, get it all installed and whatever. This may follow on for more than one video since it's already sort of 20 minutes for this. Checking it's up to date, setting name to Vagrant test, now opening the port, doing that, put in the VM, that's good. Alright. It'll take a few minutes, blah blah blah, private key, it should moan about the key unless it's done the update in the first place and said it's okay, don't know. Right then. Mainly I want it to turn around and do the sharing of the folder. That's at the moment the main thing I want it to be able to do. That's the next step. Because the previous one didn't work with that. Therefore, I'm trying for a fresh start on this. Okay. Newly generated key pair, blah blah, inserting guest, reconnecting using new SSH. It's now done the thing and mounted the other folder. Okay, so it mounts okay now. That was the major league issue. So now if I do a Vagrant SSH, I should theoretically be in that folder. Yeah. CD/. Vagrant. Yeah. Now we're doing nano, hopefully nano's in it. Test.c. We can do include stdio.h in main. We shall do printf hello Vagrant. Oops. And a return 0. Close that off. Okay, hopefully now if I do Control X, yes, save that. That's cat test.c. That's there. gcc-o test space test.c /test hello Vagrant. There we go. Now I'm going to exit out of this. Oops. Now that I'm on this system, I'm going to cat test.c and look, it's working in there. Okay. So now we know it actually does do it. There's a few